Hello all of you. In this session we'll talk about how to install Active Directory domain services in Server 2022. So let's start the session, guys. Before we start installation of Active Directory, we just did these things: AD structure. Okay, we understand domain tree forest in logical components, and in physical component we understand domain controller, site and data store. Rest components we learn in upcoming lectures. So now if you want to install Active Directory in your servers, so there is a requirement. So what is the requirement for that? I'll let you know. So now before we install the AD services, we first need to understand the requirement. So we'll talk about the requirements first. Like if you want to install AD services in a particular server, whether it's a 2008 server or 12 server or any server, like you can see that. So we need number one. First we talk about ADS requirements. So number one, we need 250 MB free space in the C drive. C drive means where you install the operating system. So if you install in D drive, so you need in D drive. Like in my side, my operating system is installed in C drive, so we need 250 MB free space for C drive. Now in 250 MB, it's a categorized 200 MB for AD services, okay, and 50 MB for log files. Remember these things, okay? 200 MB for AD services and 50 MB for log files. We need this much amount of free space in C drive, okay? Number second, we need NTFS partition, okay, or file system, you can say that. We need NTFS file system on C drive. So as you already know that by default we work on NTFS file system. So once you install any server, so by default it's formatted in NTFS. Number third, we need to configure and up the LAN card, okay, LAN settings, as you can see that. So if you have a server, so it's mandatory that your server should have IP address, and it's a manual IP address configured on the LAN card, and the LAN card should be up. Okay, so these are the basic concepts we need. Okay, and the fourth one, we need a .NET framework also. We need .NET framework. Okay, .NET framework is a platform. Okay, so we need this thing. So this is automatically installed in a server. So by default, it's in 4.8.1 version is running in Windows Server 2022. In 19 we have 4.8, and after that in 16 we have 4.5, like this. Okay, so it is automatically installed. If it is not installed, you need to install it first, and after that we install the AD services. Okay, so this is the AD requirements we need. So let's start to install the AD services. So I already have a server. As you can see that this is my server 22. So if I'm showing you in this PC properties, and over there you can find out in edition we have a Windows Server 22 data center edition is there. Okay, now first I need to check the C drive, the space. So in my C drive I have 30 GB space, so it's okay. I need only 250 MB. Okay, now we need to check over the LAN card. So this is my LAN card, LAN settings, and I go to properties over there, and in the I don't need IPv6, I'm using IPv4 right now, and go to properties over there. I define the manual IP address, so I'm using 100.0.0.1 network I'm using. Okay, and the DNS also I'm using the same, because this server is becoming a DNS server as well in future. Once you install domain controller on this server, so once you configure AD services, so we need DNS services also on the same server. So this server also becoming a DNS server as well. So that's why I write same IP address on my DNS server. Click on OK, close. Now I'm going to install the AD services. So click on start, and we need to click on server manager, and let's click on add roles and features. Over there click on next. Now we could just choose role based or feature based installation. Now we have two options: role based or feature based, or remote desktop services installation. So if you have a VDIs, VDIs and you want to manage your VDIs, in that case we can use remote desktop server installation. Right now I'm working on a virtual machine. So in that case, we can use role-based or feature-based installation. I'm going to install a role. AD is a role in the server. So that's why I choose first option. Now this is my server name and their IP addresses and the operating system edition. Now click on next. Now we have multiple options of AD. We need to choose this option, Active Directory Domain Services. Simple, and click on add features. That's it. I'm going to install AD services only right now. If you want to install DNS as well, so just check the DNS server as well. For domain controller or for domain network, we need both the services. But right now I'm showing you only the AD services, how we can install it. Now click on next. Now you can see that we have a .NET Framework 4.8 feature is already installed. As you can see that we have 4.8 is already installed. If you need a 3.5, you have the option also. Like some application or some services need 3.5 .NET Framework also. So you need to install that time. Okay, but right now we need only 4.8, so we already have 4.8, which is automatically installed in your servers. Now click on next. It gives you the information about what is Active Directory, and now they ask you restart the destination server automatically if required. Okay, I check this option. If your server needs automatic restarts, then it's automatically restart your server. Click on install. So it's going to install the Active Directory domain services. Now as you can see that it shows you the AD services is successfully installed. Configure required, installation succeeded on this server. So we successfully configured the AD, so we successfully installed the AD services on Windows Server 2022. Thank you.